After more than 50 cruises, people ask us one question more than any other.
Should I take a river cruise, an ocean cruise, or an expedition cruise?
And honestly, that's a much harder question than it sounds, because they're completely different experiences.
Different ships, different destinations, different passengers, different expectations.
And after sailing all three types around the world, we discover something surprising. The best cruise isn't always the most expensive one.
And the cruise we'd recommend to a first-time cruiser is often different from a cruise that we'd recommend to an experienced traveler. So today we're comparing river cruises, ocean cruises, and expedition cruises, and helping you decide which one is right for you. Welcome back to 100 Countries and Counting,
where we share what we learned from nearly 100 countries, 7 continents, and more than 50 cruises. The biggest mistake people make is assuming all cruises are basically the same, and they're not.
In fact, these types of cruises feel so different that they almost belong in a separate category of travel.
A river cruise is about destinations.
An ocean cruise is about the ship and the destination.
And an expedition cruise is about the experience.
If you understand that one difference, everything else starts making sense.
Let's start with river cruises, because that is the type of cruising that surprises us the most.
Before our first river cruise, we thought it might be boring.
We couldn't have been more wrong. One of the first things that amazed us was waking up in the middle of a town. Not a cruise terminal, not miles away, right in the center of town.
We'd step off the ship and within minutes be walking through century-old streets. No buses, no transfers, no crowds from multiple ships.
The second thing that surprised us was how much time we had. We weren't rushing back to the ship. We could wander, we can enjoy a lunch, we can have dinner with the locals, or simply spend time exploring a place that interested us. That completely changed how we experienced Europe. River cruises are ideal if you love history, culture, small towns, scenic sailing, and easy travel. It's a great way to explore parts of Europe and Asia that most ocean cruises could not reach.
What you won't find are water slides, rock climbing walls, Broadway-style productions, casinos, bingo, and trivia games.
Because the destination is the entertainment.
Some mornings we'd wake up, open the curtains, and find ourselves looking at a medieval town, a castle, a vineyard-covered hillside. That's a very different experience from waking up in the middle of the ocean. Ocean cruises are what most people think of when they hear the word cruise.
And there's a reason they're so popular. Ocean cruises can be incredible.
I still remember walking onto our very first larger ship. The scale was unbelievable.
Restaurants, entertainment, pools, shows, lounges. It felt more like a floating resort than a ship. Every time we sailed a newer ship, they seemed to find another way to make them even bigger.
And that's exactly the appeal.
Ocean cruises are great if you enjoy variety. Different destinations, different restaurants, different activities.
They're often the best value in travel.
You can visit multiple destinations while only unpacking once, and that's hard to beat.
Then there's expedition cruises. And this is where cruising becomes something completely different. Expedition cruises isn't about the ship, it's about where the ship can take you.
The first time we stepped into the Zodiac in Antarctica, we knew immediately this wasn't any cruise we ever taken.
There were no casinos, there were no Broadway shows, no shopping promenade.
Instead, there were glaciers, penguins, whales, daily expedition talks, and places very few people ever get to visit.
The destination wasn't outside the ship. The destination was the entire experience.
And for the first time, we realized the ship wasn't the attraction. It was simply the tool that allowed us to reach the extraordinary place. Expedition cruises are perfect if you love wildlife, adventure, learning, remote destinations, photography.
They're also usually the most expensive, but they're often the most transformative.
Now let's talk comfort. Because many people assume expedition cruises are the least comfortable.
That isn't necessarily true anymore. Modern expedition ships can be very comfortable.
But if comfort is your top priority, ocean cruises usually win. River cruises typically offer a more intimate experience, and expedition cruises offer a more immersive experience. So who should choose which cruise?
If you love history, culture, and walking straight into a town, choose a river cruise.
If you enjoy entertainment, variety, and a resort at sea experience, choose an ocean cruise.
If your dream trip involves wildlife, exploration, and places most people never see, choose an expedition cruise.
But then people ask us the follow-up question. If you could choose only one, what would it be?
And honestly, we can't answer that.
Because they serve completely different purposes. A river cruise through Europe or Asia, a Caribbean or Alaska, take an ocean cruise, an Antarctic expedition. They're not competing against one another. They're different travel experiences entirely. Another thing people ask us is who typically sells each type of cruise.
Generally speaking, river cruises tend to attract travelers interested in culture and history. Ocean cruises attract the widest range of ages and travel styles. An expedition cruise tends to attract curious travelers who are willing to trade some traditional cruise amenities for extraordinary experiences.
If we're ranking them based on life-changing experiences, expedition cruises wins. And honestly, that shouldn't surprise anyone who's watched our Antarctica videos. If we're ranking them based on culture and destination,
river cruises win.
If we're ranking them based on value and variety,
ocean cruises win.
That's why we continue selling all three. But each one gives us something completely different. After more than 50 cruises, we learned something important. The best cruise isn't the biggest ship, the most expensive ship, or even the most luxurious ship.
The best cruise is the one that matches your experience that you're looking for.
Because every great cruise has the same goal, helping you experience the world in a different way.
And whether that's sailing through a European village, crossing the ocean, or stepping onto Antarctic ice, the right cruise can become one of the most memorable trips of your life. And years from now, you'll probably won't remember the buffet or the cabin or even the ship itself. You'll remember where it took you. And that's exactly what a great travel is all about. Thanks for joining us on this journey.
And we'd love to know your answer. Have you ever taken a river cruise, ocean cruise, or expedition cruise? Let us know which cruise is your favorite in the comments.
And if you're considering an expedition cruise, watch our Antarctica and Galapagos series next.
And don't forget to subscribe as we continue counting countries, cruises, and unforgettable experiences around the world. We're Desiree.
And Michael.
And we're 100 countries and counting.